It's Saturday night, and there's a packed house here in New York for the final event of the day, an all-star shootout in the 9200 modified tractors, a climactic finale to a long day of pulling excitement.
Anybody here from Bradford? I would say that he's from Lewis Run, Pennsylvania, but nobody knows where Lewis Run, Pennsylvania is at. But they know where Bradford, PA is at.
Those 5 big Aries engines are the power source for none other than the Driller, with Leo K at the throttle. Leo's been very tough this year in this class, and even stronger in the lighter 7500. He's had an excellent weekend so far here in Hamburg, and you can be sure he'll be one of the front runners tonight.
All right, running the most expensive engines here today. A tractor costing about $175,000. Here we go, the Driller. The Driller. Pull, 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 pull.
The Driller pulls it out with power to spare. An incredible run for Leo K. Let's take another look at his championship form.
Well, Leo, that's about the first time I've ever heard these motors pulled down really strong like that. It's taking a lot of horsepower out there tonight.
This is a real good track.
Well, I tell you, you came down those big Aries motors. I didn't know if you were gonna make it out the end or not, but the last few feet really did the job.
Yeah, we're turning a real high gear, and I didn't get out. I'm really good off the line. We're all set now, I think, for the pull-off.
You think anybody else can get it out?
Yeah. Some big boys back there.
All right, we'll see you later.
Okay.
The next run tonight will be by Phil Patterson in his SASSY MASSEY. This rig doesn't look like any MASSEY you'll see on the farm. Phil had a bad breakdown earlier in the season, and this Erie County Fairground weekend is his first in some weeks. He did well in an event earlier this afternoon, and it really got his confidence up. He needs to do well tonight to make up the points he lost while his rig was down. A big full pull for Phil Patterson. This is only his second pull in the SASSY MASSEY since repairing a cracked frame. He's making a strong comeback, and he's psyched up to win this one tonight. There's no substitute for full power taking it right up the middle. Let's go down to trackside and get Phil's reaction.
He's running maybe more horsepower than the Banter brothers. A SASSY MASSEY now running 4 miles on it. It looks like they're going to
I'll tell you what, that looked like a lot of fun anyway.
It was, definitely. It was a lot better than this afternoon. I'm starting to get the feel back again.
I tell you, the track's taking a lot of horsepower, but I'll tell you, that box is topping out at about 250 feet, and you guys are just motoring.
Yeah, it feels good. The track's good tonight. It's fantastic. It's going to be a heck of a pull-off.
Okay, we'll see you then.
You sure will. Thank you.
2 runs and 2 full pulls. All those who come after will have to go the distance to make it to the pull-off. John Heileman will do his best to make it a 3-way contest. He runs 3 big Chevys aboard Old Red, and he's competing against a lot of 5- and 6-engine machines. But don't count him out. He's got the experience that it takes to win.
John Heileman with Old Red. We already have 2 full pulls. The farmer from Rockford, Ohio. He ran his Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe with a 2-wheel drive. Here he comes. John Heileman, Old Red, 3 540 cubic inch Chevrolet engines out there.
John Heileman just does manage to keep it between the lines. He swerved left and compensated too much with his right brake, sending Old Red careening down the track. Next up, the 6 big Chevys of Banter Brown. 15-time national champion Dave Banter is at the wheel.
They need a full pull to tie. They need a full pull to tie. While he is backing up, here comes David Banter out of LaFontaine, Indiana. Banter Custom Brown. Here we go. They're lining it up over on the left-hand side of the pulling track. The cameras come off the track. We're ready to go. Here's the green flag. They need a full pull. Good run at all. Not a good run at all here in the 9,200-pound modified dragster class.
A disappointing run for the first Banter rig. Let's take another look. Dave didn't seem to have the power he needed off the line. These pullers haven't quite got this Hamburg track dialed in yet.
And Banter Brown comes up way short.
Well, David, I know that this isn't your favorite tractor to run in this class. You usually do a little better with the blue, but just didn't really seem to get hooked up and bounce about halfway down the track.
Yeah, I might become a little too hard out of the starting line. You know, I don't know. I didn't give it a chance to get hooked up, or I don't know. I have to try a little bit better with the other one. You know, I feel like the Mr. Chevy will probably could lay down a pretty good run if I can make it do it.
You think you can get in the pull-off?
Well, if I get a good run out of her, I think I can, yeah.
Well, we'll find out real soon.
Right.
All right, here's Pat Freels out of Island, Kentucky. Running 5.454. Big black Chevrolet. All right, you can see the side motors are hooked transversely, going into a main gearbox, going into the rear end. Pat Freels from Island, Kentucky with Dollar Devil. Trying to hold it together. They need a full pull to tie. A full pull they need to tie. We already have two in the pull-off right now. Here we go, here we go.
Pat Freels. 294.1 feet for Pat Freels. A good run, but not good enough to get into the pull-off. Like John Heilemann, the front end got away from him, and he had to use the brake. That cost him the distance he needed. Those yet to pull are rechecking their weight up front.
I know you're a little disappointed he didn't get out at the end this time, but still a pretty strong run, really.
Yeah, maybe I was just a little light this run. I made the sled a little heavier and I moved 75 back. Maybe should have left it up. Had to get on the brake real hard.
Well, I know you haven't made that many runs with a 5-motor combination, and looks like you're really getting it together.
Yeah, we're finally getting them all to run. We had them all on here, and we get 3 to run, 4 to run. Maybe we can get them all to run. It's looking real good now.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Glad to have you here.
You're looking at history, an Allison V-12 fighter plane engine. These were the engines that powered our Air Force in World War II. And now this one is powering Rich Whisenant's Brigadier.
Here's Richard Whisenant with the Allison V-12 carbureted engine. Allison V-12 from World War II, the Brigadier, Richard Whisenant.
195.1 feet, a disappointing run as the Brigadier runs out of juice.
Here's Bob Elliott, the fancy farmer. Bob Elliott, the fancy farmer out of Mayfield, Kentucky, running 4.26 Keith Black Chrysler Hemi motors. This is the same engine that Shirley Muldowney runs in Top Fuel drag racing. He's running 4 of them out there competing against these 5-engine Chevrolet tractors. Bob Elliott, the fancy farmer out of Mayfield, Kentucky. He needs a full pull to tie. We already have a pull-off in this class. He needs a full pull to tie.
231 feet for the Fancy Farmer. Still only 2 have made the pull-off. When we come back, 4 more of these dragster pulling rails will give it their best shot. But first, this message. Only 4 more teams have a chance at the pull-off.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, watch this guy closely. Here may be the guy to watch.